at this journey of you building and scaling Lex Visas globally. Being a partner to your customers. When you were in the US, you used to work for a leading immigration software services company, right? How did that experience incubate the best practices that Lex Visas is known for today? How do you think Lex Visas is best equipped to service the GCCs of today as well as tomorrow?
India inherently has been assumed to be an easy country. World में ऐसा कोई industry नहीं है besides entertainment that you have to be on your toes every single day. As Indians, we love jugaad, right? You've been in business together for so long. How come you guys are still married?
And once you know how to use it, it can do wonders. It can help you, improve your efficiency at least by 100%. That's what we are targeting. It can make your petitions error-free. Your response to customers could be much faster.
Feel that immigration is just a visa. Immigration is not visa. The more I have realized that every person in the world is defined by the roots that he or she carries.
How do you balance speed and agility along with credibility and compliance? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the Sunny Shah Show. I'm in this beautiful city of Pune and I have been absolutely obsessed with its hospitality, food and culture. But we are not here to celebrate Pune and its culture, or for that matter Maharashtra. We are here to share a very, very interesting story of a couple who started a small business which is now crossing all the borders. We are in this world of globalization, where global mobility is not a luxury but a need. And at that hour, as most companies try to establish their presence in India, and as India goes global, Lex Visas is the solution to a lot of your immigration challenges. So we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about their journey. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Vikas Rungta and Mrs. Preeti Rungta. Vikas is the CEO and founder of Lex Visa. Preeti is the co-founder and the COO of Lex Visa. So thank you so much for joining me on this show.
Thank you for inviting us, Sunny, and thank you for the beautiful introduction. I never knew our company can be introduced so beautifully. Lot to learn from you.
The pleasure is all mine. Welcome, Preeti.
Thank you, Sunny. I think Pune has a heart. We wear a heart on our sleeves and you really spotted it. So thank you so much.
So we would like to walk through the journey of how Lex Visas was created. But I want to know more about you before we get into your business. Mr. Vikas, you lived in California. You had a stable life in the US. Then you decided to come back to India and build something as remarkable as Lex Visas, which continues to add so much value to so many companies here in India and across the globe. But let me ask you a personal question to begin with. Sure. How did you guys meet? Where did you guys meet? What's your story?
Wow, that's
So a fun fact about us is we are in the 25th year of our anniversary of our marriage, and we celebrate 25 years of togetherness this April.
Wow, congrats.
So that is, thank you. And that is such an opportune moment for us to reflect on the journey that we have lived together. But
yeah. But if you ask that question, marriage happened almost by chance. Okay, I was working in US and I was then I took up a job in UK and I was in India for a visa stamping. Marriage was nowhere in the cards, far away, and I was with a group of friends, all married. I got married a little later than others, and Pune is my second home. I'm from Mumbai, and visiting Pune, we went to a place called Sanskriti, a group of friends, and it had a lot of cultural activities, and we also had a Jyotishi. And my friends, trying to have some fun on me, they made me push towards the Jyotishi and let him read my palm. And after reading, he says, I knew very well within a month I would be gone. And he says, you will soon get married. And we say, okay. The friends ask him further, uh, tell us little more about the girl. Who said, the girl will be from Pune. And everyone knew I would be gone in a month's time. They said, when? He said, in less than a month. And okay, so we all digested. We had a lot of follow-up questions, a lot of fun on him. And then after that event, we came home. As soon as I came home, I didn't carry a mobile then, an India mobile. My father calls me on my friend's landline, and he says, Vikas, there is a marriage proposal for you. We were not even looking, right? And he says, there is a marriage proposal for you. He said, okay, interesting. And then he goes next, the girl is from Pune. So we said, okay. And he said, I said, I'm not looking. He said, no, at least try it out. You may be to get started somewhere. I said, okay. So 2 days later, I had my father-in-law and, some uncles come over to our home in Mumbai. They saw me like the traditional custom, and they approved of it on the same day. And 4 days down, I was in Pune meeting Preeti. And after our meeting, I instantly said yes, though I was not prepared. Before the meeting, I had all plans to say no. And after the meeting, I said yes. And then I think within the next 3-4 days, we got engaged, and we got 18 days to get married. So still things happened in time. I flew to UK as scheduled, and yeah. So
moral of the story here is take Indian Jyotishi seriously.
yeah. So I think they can use this as their promo as well.
Yeah.
Great.
True story.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's talk about getting into your business, right? So you spent 25 plus years across the globe, between the US, UK. At that juncture, when we are looking at India from an outside-in perspective, what was that thought that came to your mind? What was that swing moment that you thought that, okay, I need to build a platform or services that would help simplify immigrations? Was that a need of the hour? What did you think at that stage when you were conceptualizing Lex Visas in your mind? And how did this all started? Let's talk about the entrepreneurial side of yours.
Thank you. That's again the second interesting story I would love to share. But to understand it, we'll have to go back in time, 25 years to 1999. And that was the time when, most of the people from India were looking at foreign assignments, especially US. And I was one of them. I had my engineering and MBA, and armed with that, I did some refresher courses. In 99, I moved to Silicon Valley in US. The professional journey was great. I had good professional background even after going there, good assignments. But when I went there, I did feel that the relocation side of it, it was still overwhelming, to be frank, for me. There were visa challenges, uncertainty in the environment, but that was okay. The professional journey was good. Those were all getting managed. But having experienced some of those hurdles during the first few years, the first 3 years to be more precise, and then in year 2002, I joined as head of business development for a case management technology company, immigration technology company called INS Zoom. And there my end clients were large corporations, global law firms, mobility companies, relocation companies. And first time I understood the care that goes behind relocation, which was unheard of in an Indian situation. But we realized the importance that global companies attach to it, from a immigration perspective, from helping the family resettle, because the impact is not only on the career ambitions of that individual, the whole family aspirations are with this. The business plans of the company are involved with the whole whole relocation. Unless the family is happy, settled, you, your spouse, your children, it doesn't go well. So that is the time I really understood those aspects. And after a few years in it, Preeti and I both would talk many times. We would say, hey, I think we should go back. Our heart was still in India. The reason to go to US was probably the charm of dollar and getting an international environment. Once I think that milestone was achieved, India started calling, but there was nothing that we could say, hey, what do we go back to for? And we were waiting for the right moment. So this was the 6 years of US journey. But on the parallel track, when we look at India, at the same time, the India opened up to FDI. In 2000, year 2000, the FDI gained momentum where we allowed 100% foreign equity and autonomous approvals. So with that, a lot of companies started committing to India. And when we looked at year 2003-4, a lot of companies actually started putting the money, announced their plan. Then 2004, we had the Indian government running a promotional campaign, the India Shining Story. I don't know whether you were professionally active then. And with the India Shining Story, they were wooing the professionals around the world saying, hey, things are happening in India and come back. And we were desirous and we thought this is making a lot of sense. When these foreign companies come back, they would obviously need relocation experts, immigration experts. And we knew that was not there in India. So we said, hey, this is the right time. We possess the expertise that India requires. We want to be there. We both are from business families. And we wanted to be in business again, which was not very easy to be in US because of visa restrictions. So I think a lot of things fall in place, and God had a plan, and He gave us a push. And I said, hey, let's grab the opportunity and come back. And we have never looked back ever since.
Wonderful. At Lex Visas, you always tell this to me that you have a philosophy of being a partner to your customers. Why is that philosophy and that mindset important? And what's lacking in the current way of things where people are trying to do the immigration services on their own without having a robust end-to-end partner like you guys? Why do you think it is very important? What's the missing piece there?
So when we take many services, the impact may not be as high as immigration sometimes. And with immigration, we know the company's business plan is at stake if we go wrong. So it's a zero tolerance industry in a way. And right from, it's not only the project and ambition of an individual, it's the family has planned. The family also compromises significantly when they plan to join that employee. So on the face of it, it may look great, but the family does put a lot of sentiments, efforts, emotions to accept that move. And if the move is not only about immigration, it is to do with finding the right home. A family is always overwhelmed, and relocation is amongst the most stressful things. And when the family relocates, they need help with finding the schools, and especially when you look at Indian parents. And I would say that that's for most of the parents around the world. They don't want to compromise with the quality of education they want to give their children. So the school has to go well, the material has to come on time, the housing, a good house where the family is comfortable is important. Your bank account needs to be figured out. There are so many different, your HAG, international tax, there are so many different puzzles that have to come together to make that relocation successful. And if it doesn't go well, then the company's plan gets disrupted, and so is that individual.
Right.
So it's not a transactional relationship. We have to be invested to understand that family a lot more and scrap down and make sure that it's very smooth and it works, which cannot happen until we have a partnership approach. It cannot happen until you're invested in that outcome. And that's the reason, and that's what helps us to go an extra mile. and that's why we say we are a partner in the journey.
Well said. You're in a business where a slight error can lead to compliance issues or unfavorable results and outcomes, right? And neither you nor your client want that. You're known to be a person who's extremely calm under all circumstances. How do you handle pressure, which in your business is constant, in my opinion? How do you manage that?
Good question. I would say pressure is there and it's here to stay. I can probably help reduce it, not eliminate it. Having said that, I think my engineering and MBA degrees come in handy where which has helped me to think deep, do research, plan ahead of time, set up robust processes and systems, and also understand that art of delegation, and also understanding that the team has to be well trained. Take that accountability. So I think all of it put together helps me to share that burden with the team. And we're fortunate that we have a great team who rises to the occasion always. And together we are able to deliver it. And Preeti obviously is a very strong partner that I have. And nobody can ask for more than what I want. And so, yeah, it all works out on that.
Wonderful. How big is your team?
We are about 45 people. We are 30 people in Pune, 15 people spread across 8 cities in India. But what's also more important is our kind of industry works a lot on partnerships.
Sure.
And we have partners in 50 plus countries around the world who are small companies like us in each of those countries. And they help us, and they're all owner driven. And so they help, give us good pricing. They help us give good responses. Together, we are able to give a single point solution to our clients.
Back in those days, when you were in the US, you used to work for a leading immigration software services company, right? How did that experience incubate the best practices that Lex Visas is known for today?
Good question. I think a major part of what we do today belongs to INS Zoom. And Umesh, if you see this, I want to be vocal about it. My immediate manager was Umesh Vaidyamat, the founder of INS Zoom. And he's today, amongst the 50 top Asian American entrepreneurs, also the member of Forbes Technology Council. And when I joined INS Zoom in 2002, it was a small startup trying to sell it to small immigration law firms or US-based law firms. And from that time, in 3 years, I saw the journey where the small product slowly shaped into a global technology, a technology that was accepted by some very large corporates in the world, the best of global law firms, relocation companies. And I saw that if you have a dream and you're willing to put that effort, and if you provide the right kind of solution, the attitude at our company was always that, hey, if a client needs it, let's try and work and see how we can deliver. So the solutions approach. So there are a lot of different learnings that came into play. Of course, the domain knowledge in terms of immigration and relocation is what I learned there. And I think all came in handy to eventually have the same kind of vision. And when we started, I knew that if we do it right and we are willing to put the dedication, success will come. And I think that was a major learning that I had there.
I like the way you give gratitude to your previous employers. This is an age where every other forward-thinking company is looking at India and they are willing to come here or scale their operations in India. We're in an era of global capability centers and India continues to lead that curve. In this mix, how do you think Lex Visas is best equipped to service the GCCs of today as well as tomorrow?
When we look at GCCs from a mobility perspective, our experience has been initially there is inbound movement because we need a lot of expertise to come and set that up, transition that knowledge, and once the learning curve is over and they innovate, get the product right, then India becomes a talent pool that eventually goes to global locations and help execute that product. So the more the number of GCCs, we see inbound and outbound. And if we look at the mix, after the initial, with most of our clients, we have many GCC clients. And after the initial bit where we saw incoming, the outbound traffic at least is more than 10, at least 10 times of the inbound traffic is what we observe.
Yeah.
So we catch them early with the inbound, and then they are there to stay with us when they do outbound moves.
Preeti, I know I would like you to come in here, same question, because I know you are significantly more client-facing to this. Do you want to add to what Vikas just mentioned?
Definitely. I think current scenario demands a holistic approach. And India inherently has been assumed to be an easy country.
Right.
Compliances were not taken seriously. And I think it was just a opinion of India or an image of India that people still carry. Like Dawn mentioned day before yesterday that I have people asking me that does India have paved roads? And if someone comes to Pune today, they would see world-class roads just for the Pune cycling tour that we hosted. So an image precedes, or a reputation precedes a person or a country. And India so far was looked upon as an easy country to maneuver and navigate. But what I'm seeing with the current governance that we have is that we are now stepping up. We are asserting. And that comes from a deep thought that the governance today has, that besides stability, people also want predictability and visibility. And that can only come if there is a framework in place where you can predict the outcome. You can predict that, okay, if there is a non-compliance, there are going to be consequences. Not that if there's a non-compliance, you can still slip through. So I think that suddenly has elevated and put spotlight on partnerships.
Right.
Where the right model, the right approach really brings out the best in the two. So with the GCCs and other businesses that we work with, our approach to them or suggestion to them is you do your best, but please outsource the rest. And that comes from the fact that partnership models are here to stay. Globally, they have thrived so much. And I think now is the time when India is waking up to the value that a partner brings in and a right partner brings in.
That's fantastic. And you think you are the right partner to help them?
Absolutely.
Next few decades belong to India.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should have any doubt yet.
So here, I would just like to reflect on a small anecdote.
Sure.
So I also come from a Marwari family, as was an arranged marriage. So we didn't have each other's backgrounds before we met.
Right.
But we both come from really core Marwari traditional banya or trade families. And I used to sit in the shop of my great-grandfather. And I always saw him investing, small gestures for even the people who came to the shop. Now, you would think that a retail shop front is the most transactional point as POS, a point of sale, as it could get. But imagine the ingenuity of a Marwari businessman, where he invested in building relationships even there. So, I'm born and brought up in the real core part of Pune, which is called Ravivarpet, which is like the Kasbah. And the place is full of those shops. And my great-grandfather's shop was one of them.
Right.
But I can tell you that our shop was always the fullest. And it didn't come from the fact that we were selling cheap, but it came from the fact that my grandfather and great-grandfather built their business on relationships. And I think that has just stayed with me. I think that is what we say, right? The bloodline matters, right? So as Marwari families, that is what I think is the bloodline. So partnerships, investment in relationships, I think comes so deeply rooted from there.
Preeti, you are widely respected as a renowned leader in the immigration industry. You spent close to 3 decades
Yeah.
in servicing clients across the globe. What was that magnetic effect that brought you close to this industry? And why are you doing this?
Why am I doing this is a really important question for me, and one that nobody has asked me about. Why I'm doing this is because I think I'm fearless and I don't shy away from taking bold risks. A little bit of a backstory. I come from a very traditional conservative Marwari family. Thankfully, I got the platform and the support from my family, my parents, where they did not have any gender bias against me being a female child, against my brother. They always thought that intelligence is gender agnostic. And when they saw that I was really intelligent, I was really street smart, it really gave them the framework to help me move forward. And why I'm doing this is because I believe it's my intrinsic value to the world. I have received so much divinity, Sunny. I have a very favorite, deeply personal favorite line, that what you seek is seeking you. This is by Rumi. Everyone knows this line. Manifestation. But this has been my life journey, right from my relationship with Vikas, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my children, and also my relationship with my clients or companies. I can't differentiate between the two. And I feel that a committed person is committed irrespective of what relationship you put them into. So that is the reason I'm doing it. It is my responsibility as a human to give back to the world what I have received. And I'm glad that the divine force has chosen me to be the medium. And why this industry? So this industry actually keeps me very alert, young, energetic. Because एक चीज मैं बता दूं, वर्ल्ड में ऐसा कोई इंडस्ट्री नहीं है besides entertainment that you have to be on your toes every single day. And now with the world forces changing so quickly, the rule-based order changing so quickly, there are such deep impacts of the changing scenario that our clients are looking at us to provide the wisdom. And today AI has all information, Google has all information, but they need someone to make sense of that chatter. There is so much chatter, but they need someone to make sense of that chatter. And I take that responsibility very seriously. So I think that is the reason why I just find myself in that position, and I think I'm glad I'm able to give it back.
Wonderful. You often, I notice you said that personalization and culturally backed approach is very, very important when it comes to employee mobility. And that is something that you, in your own words, say is non-negotiable. Why do you say so?
I believe when we are moving countries or we are going to different geographies, what we carry with us, besides the material luggage or the baggage, actually what we are carrying is our culture and our roots. Until I had started to travel the world, I didn't appreciate what I had. Because I always thought the grass was always greener on the other side. You know, the Western world is better, or the Asian world is different. The more I have traveled, the more I have realized that every person in the world is defined by the roots that he or she carries and the culture that they carry. And as much as we are different, you know, people in Africa are different, people in US are different, people in Europe are different, people in Russia are different, people in Australia are different, and people in Southeast Asia are different. But there is so much similarity. I have spoken to a mother from Brazil, and it hurts the same way when the child is not well. I have spoken to a dad from Australia. He feels the pride the same way when the child does well. I've seen business owners who have shared their joys when things have gone well, the same way that Vikas and I would share it. So when we talk about human emotion, that suddenly is a huge leveler. And the moment we bring in personalization, we are removing all the faff and the superficial, coverages that people carry with them about maybe the countries they're coming from or the skin color. But eventually we are all connected by that deep humanness that I think comes in when we are talking to people all across the globe. So I think that, it's just come with, it's the evolution of me as a person, that it has come to me and I'm able to serve the people that I work with.
Nice. You are MIN certified. For the sake of our audience, can you explain what that means and how do you balance speed and agility along with credibility and compliance?
So MIM certification is Management of International Mobility. It is granted by Relocation, which is headquartered in the UK. Certificates are a great way for a third person to trust and to place their faith in us. However, I believe that credibility, integrity, and trust, that is the basis of any relationship or the age of the relationship. Unless these are established, unless these are transacted, unless these are seen in action, a relationship will merely become a transaction. So for me, speed, scale can be achieved through technology. Credibility and trust cannot be achieved through technology alone. It is only achieved through consistent, outcome-based approach where I will walk my talk and not just say what I wish to do. So I think credibility does precede, reputation does precede a business and a person. And I think that is the major factor that plays in credibility.
And from an operational standpoint, why do you think that taking shortcuts would never work in immigrations in the long
run? Immigration is heavily compliance dependent. Without getting into the opinion of is it right or wrong, I think it is more important for people like us who are part of the ecosystem to ensure that people understand the importance of following it. It's like, what is the reason why all the traffic should stop at a red light? What is the reason? Because if not, there are consequences. There are penalties, fines, but there are higher consequences or maybe accidents or fatalities. Every compliance comes with a reason of being there. It could be protectionism. It could be keeping everyone in order. But it could also be ease with which things can progress. So as Indians, we love Jugaad, right? It really supports our thinking that as long as we are able to make it right at that moment, baad mein dekh lenge. Well, I'll cross the bridge when I come to it. But the world is now moving to a point where you cannot cross the bridges when you come. You have to preempt.
Yep.
And it is really important that people understand that importance. I am glad that now Indian businesses are actually realizing that how last minute failures can have a deep impact on their plans, on their business outcomes, and at the same time, how it could impact national interest. Today, being in industry, I can tell you that Indian talent is really respected and is sought. But what are we struggling with? We are struggling with paperwork.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment compliance is followed without shortcuts, it is easier to transcend those boundaries and to approach the subject rather than be constantly looking over our shoulder that pata nahi kab kya gadbad ho jaye. So I think it is important that shortcuts maybe sometimes, but it cannot be a norm. It can only be an exception.
Nicely said. Mr. Ruta, I have a question for you. Sure. When you look back at this journey of you building and scaling Lex Visas globally, how do you feel Preeti's involvement, not just as your better half, but also as your partner in this? Where do you think are our core strengths that really complemented this journey that led to a solid foundation and scale for Lex Visas?
I am happy of using the word complementing. And I'm really glad we don't have the same skill sets. Because she's a very, very powerful person. She herself said she's fearless, so she's fearless, powerful, no stage fright. She's a great leader and motivator, and also uh, she can really bond with the customer really well, and as opposed to that, I'm more on the background, great with administration, great with IT skill sets. My understanding of numbers is much better than most others. So I'm a very structured, process-oriented guy who likes to plan well in advance, mitigate the risk. So together, I think we make a great team, and I don't think this journey would have even started or continued the way it is if it was not for Preeti. So, Preeti.
Do you have a few more follow-up questions? I'm loving this.
I'd rather ask the same question to you, Preeti. How do you think Vikas's core skills that he just mentioned help you scale the organization that you both are so proud of?
I'll say 2 lines first, and then, of course. So, professionally, of course, we are together. A lot of times people actually ask me that you've been in business together for so long. How come you guys are still married? And my answer to that is because I've allowed him to read the way. So I think he's the, I am the chaos, he's the calm. And I'm the Pagal Nadi, he's my Bandh. So I think that is the reason why. But professionally speaking, we are really like two really different, unique personalities. But at the same time, we fit so well that it's just surprising that we could find each other. In a different place, in a different time, I don't know how our paths would have crossed. But at the same time, we are as different as chalk and cheese. But we are together, we are a great dish to be served.
Excellent.
That's all I can tell you.
So you both are life partners. You're also business partners. Do you think this is an advantage in complex cities or when the stakes are high? How do you look at this?
If I sum it up, whenever both of us go for any presentation, a high-stake presentation, it is rarely that we walk out empty-handed. Okay, so this is the conclusion of the alliance. What happens is when we are in an environment, we can speak with each other without talking. Okay, we both understand. Eye contact is good enough. Now we don't even need that eye contact. We both have become so predictable for each other. And that fact, I think, definitely helps in all situations, whether it is personal, whether it is at work. And while we can communicate each other, we also know each other's strengths. So while we don't step on each other's toes, together we'll make a great team. So I think it's definitely an advantage because another thing is we don't have to worry about it. It's for the same family, same business. So having alignment in terms of our goals and vision and larger interests of the way forward we want to take that company, it's a lot more easy to be in alignment with that vision. And I think 1 + 1, if it clicks well, is definitely 11 and not 2. So in our case, it's surely 11.
You agree with it?
I do. So I think what we realize very soon is the qualities that we both carry as individual personalities, but also what we bring together when we come as one unit. Second, but a very important skill that we learned very early on within our relationship was that ego had no place. If I have done something which is not in the best interest, I have the humility and the courage to accept it. But then that is what even he brings. So he's a very typical un-Marwadi like Marwadi. Okay, so, very traditional, bringing up normally breeds one-upmanship. But full credit to, the Runta family and the way he has been brought up. Exposure, equality, respect for others, and at the same time having the humility to accept that, okay, this is not going well, I slipped up. And then we just come together. So I think that is the reason why, although, Pune is standing at the confluence of Mula and Mutha,
Yeah.
I think that is also the confluence of both of us, our personalities.
Excellent. Give me an honest answer. Have you ever, on or off camera, complimented each other so much like you're doing it today?
Actually, I do, but because I'm more vocal as a person. So I've told him several times that you're a fabulous son. You are an Oscar award-winning brother. You are a father that my kids would probably want for all their lifetimes. He still is on the path of coming there as a husband. But yeah, I do compliment him quite a bit. But today, thank you. He's really doing well today.
So some people are silent admirers, right? They don't speak and their actions speak. So it's always my action that speaks.
Excuses.
Right, I'll get you back to the job at hand. What role do you think technology would play going forward in your business? I mean, AI is everywhere, as we see. There are a lot of platforms that are simplifying everything, including your work. How are you envisioning this over the next 5 to 10 years, and how that is going to help A, you as a business, and B, your customers by virtue of automation and adapting to next-gen technologies? Anybody?
Sure, I'll go with that. Technology has played an important role, even now if you look at, and it's here to stay, and it's going to play an increasingly important role, especially with AI. And the only way for us is to befriend technology. Sure. And technology can definitely, it's a powerful tool, and once you know how to use it, it can do wonders. It can help you improve your efficiency at least by 100%. That's what we are targeting. It can make your petitions error-free. Your response to customers could be much faster. So in fact, as we speak, last week we signed up to a beta customer for a US technology that's in the making.
Sure.
And they're using very advanced AI tools where even a customer, when he uploads his passport, document, registration certificates, they can all be scanned. It can go into the forms. It can integrate with government portals. That information from the forms can go into the portal. You can verify it. The letters can get generated from that information. So efficiency increases definitely around the corner. As I think with every technology, the way of working has to change. The humans have to evolve. They have to upgrade themselves. They have to because humans are not getting replaced at a time. They've never been with all technologies, and they will never be. So there are always going to be complex regulation. Also, many times human judgment is required, and the human beings who know how to deal with technology and make themselves relevant are still there. I think they will still rule the roost, and we are already on that path. And I think technology is very welcome.
I would like to add a little bit here. AI is a boon in a bane, but that has been the truth for every technology that's come.
Sure.
Right from, planes, weapons, computers. I mean, I tried myself to be one of the early adopters of computer science or learning computer applications. And at every junction, it looks like humans will be replaced. I don't think that's going to happen. Every technology comes with a very clinical approach. But humans are not just a clinical box with refined dimensions. We are not cuboids. We are humans. We have our rough edges. There is a white and a black. There's a lot of gray. There are so many shades to a human and his or her journey. So while AI and technology can augment, it cannot replace. But at the same time, it's not that it cannot replace anything. It will replace certain jobs. But then at the same time, remember those days when typewriters were so popular and there were typing institutes. Pune had one of the most sought after shorthand typewriting institutes that even I studied from. But then what happened when computers came in? It's just that humans, see, we are geniuses, right? The fact that we have evolved into a species which is today the most intelligent of so many species on Earth is that we are also adaptable.
Yeah.
We also know how to change with time. And all the typists became computer operators. Now we will all become AI users. So it is there to augment. As long as we see it from that lens, that it's here to help me, not replace me, I'm going to adopt to it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to upskill and I'm going to use it in my life.
Right.
So I think it also depends on how it is being accepted. Besides, there is so much noise. Once it settles down, I think there will be a lot of clarity. So I don't think technology can replace humans in an absolute sense.
I have another question for you, Preeti. As India emerges as a powerhouse of global mobility, do you think companies need to unlearn or take a step back in the way we handle immigration processes and mobility? What's your take on this?
Absolutely. There are a lot of asks that I have as a professional. One, please do not ignore this anymore. It cannot be taken for granted anymore. Chalta hai attitude, jugaad, shortcuts. It is really going to catch up very soon. We all know that all our personal documentations are getting connected. DigiLocker, Aadhaar connected to PAN card connected to all of our other documents. It is sooner or later going to catch up. So please don't take this for granted anymore. It can also make you break your entire plan of deployment. And why take that chance? Is it really worth it? So as Indians, we pride ourselves in calm ho gaya. I think it is important that we take a step back and not say calm ho gaya. It is important that we say and look at it from the lens of karna hai, but sahi karna hai. Get it right the first time.
Well said. And my last question on the business side before we get into a next segment, which is very interesting. But last question on business side is you often call yourself as a 2% fee company.
Yes.
Can you please elaborate more on this?
Definitely. I would love to do that. So it's a term that came to me when I was doing a lot of internal dialogue. Every time that I'm speaking with people, it has to be an extension of my internal dialogue. So there's a lot of filtering, lot of thinking process. And the 2% came from that fact. What I tell companies that what is important for everyone to start thinking is really what is it that I am going to pay, but what is it that I'm going to get? I'll give a simple analogy which may not be business related.
Sure.
Okay. When I'm making a holiday plan, right? Today, everything is possible to do online. I can go to Make My Trip, I can go to Ease My Trip, I can go to booking.com, I can do my hotels, I can do my flight tickets. Really, I will not pay a single buck to anybody who's planning this. But imagine a situation when I have a trusted travel partner. I can tell him or her that please plan an experience for me. Now that person is going to pull all stops to ensure that it is an experience, not a movement.
Right.
Right? Yes, I will be on the flight on time. Yes, I will go to the same hotel that I booked. But what about the experience? Similarly, when we are looking at mobility planning or immigration expense, people feel that the fee to the partner looks large. But imagine that to move an expat to India or to move an Indian resource outside, you are on an average spending 50 lakhs. Okay, that's a conservative figure I'm making. Okay, how much would you end up paying a partner? Maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakhs.
Yep.
What is it that you're paying? So instead of spotlighting that 1, 2, 3 lakhs, what we want everyone to start thinking is this amount is actually saving the entire expense that is anyway going to happen, right? So my holiday, my flight tickets, my hotel stay costed me the same, but I was not able to take the juice out of it. Maza nahi aaya. It was more like a clinical movement or a mechanical movement rather than an experience.
Yeah.
And today, humans and everyone, it doesn't matter now where you come from, which country you come from. Everyone is craving experiences. Everyone is after experiences. Today, what is a gift that you appreciate the most? Who doesn't have anything and who doesn't have access to everything? But today, the most coveted gifts and the most respected are experiences.
Sorry.
So recently, I took my daughter for a paragliding experience. No gift on her birthday would be as valuable to her as that experience of soaring free in the sky and coming, facing her own fears and believing in herself that if I face my fears, I can actually jump off a cliff and still not be hurt. Nothing can change that. Nothing can compare to that. So an experience matters. And the reason why people should partner with somebody like Lex Visas is because of an entire experience, not just that transaction or just that service. So that is the reason why I call ourselves a 2% company, where yes, you're paying us a 1 or a 2% of the entire cost, but you are entrusting us with your 98% that we then take care of.
More of an insurance than anything else.
Absolutely.
That's it. So with that, we move to rapid fire. You would have heard about this, but it's going to be me throwing rapid questions at you. Both of you have to answer, and you should answer in not more than 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right? So are you up for it?
Yes, absolutely.
So my first question is, which leadership values do you never compromise on?
Empathy.
Integrity and trust.
Yes. One myth about immigration that people get wrong.
I believe people just feel that immigration is just a visa. Immigration is not visa. It's a compliance framework. The byproduct is visa. Immigration is your documentation, your planning, your career, your family, your future. But at the same time, business growth, organizational challenges, which are set right. So immigration is not just a visa or a passport. Immigration is an industry, and it is really important for it to be seen that way rather than just a piece of paper.
The myth is that immigration is just paperwork and forms, but in actual, it's empathy, it's being there, it's ensuring that the business is able to execute they want to, and it has deep impact on the family.
One lesson every global leader must learn quickly. You want to go first at this one?
अगर आपकी सोच में दम है और आप मेहनत करने तैयार हो, तो सफलता आपके कदम जरूर चूमेगी.
One lesson every global founder must learn.
Don't give up. So when we started the business, we had heard this, that it takes 1,000 days for the first check to come, but we've lived that. And really, just don't give up. It is, if you really believe in what you do, it doesn't matter what others say. Just truly believe in yourself and don't give up.
If you were to box all of your learnings that you had as entrepreneurs and give it to the next generation of entrepreneurs or your own children, what would those be?
I'll take that first. I think the most important quality of any entrepreneur is self-belief. Everything else comes from there. The ability to take bold decisions, the ability to stand up to risks, the ability to change path and also take your teams along.
Yep.
The ability to accept, change course correct, and still move forward. I think all of this stems from that one quality of self-belief. And that strength is, I think, what makes an entrepreneur special.
Nicely said.
If you believe in yourself, keep doing it. Success is not easy, but it always comes. Believe in it, and you will have it so.
Persistence is the key then.
Persistence, correct.
With that, Mr. and Mrs. Ruta, we come to the end of this episode. I wish I could continue on and on because I'm really enjoying not just the knowledge that you are sharing for our audience, but also the chemistry that you both have on camera and off camera. It's very happy moment for me as I see this happy couple talking in front of me. May God bless you both with eternal togetherness, with the same cheerfulness and happiness and you lived your life so far. And may you continue to thrive your business, not from a revenue generation standpoint or that lens, but from a standpoint of helping thousands of people as they cross borders to make their lives easier. Because moving in and out or relocating from a country, it's an emotional thing. It comes with a lot of things that you would miss as you leave your home behind, and with a lot of aspirations and hopes and dreams as you get into a foreign land. And when that happens, if you have a partner who is there, who you know is watching your back, the journey becomes a lot more easier. So I firmly believe that what you both have built is going to add a lot of value. It continues to add value for last 25 plus years. It is going to add more and more value to the future generations. And as you pass the baton on to the next gen set of leaders, hopefully from your family as they take charge of this business.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure about that. Both our children see is working so hard, and at the first thing when we broach this topic with them, they say no, not your business. They are they're willing to go all miles to make sure that they don't have to work as hard as what we do.
They don't have to because you already did that. Yeah, but what is important, like Preeti said earlier, right? It's in the blood.
Can't.
So you can take a business out of a Marwadi, but you can't take a Marwadi out of a business.
And I actually say that to a lot of expats who move out of India. Once you have lived a life in India with its complete cultural exposure, the diversity and the warmth that we have inherent, they can leave India forever, but India will never leave them.
Very well said. Very well said. And I firmly believe and agree to that statement. It has been my honor. It has been my pleasure having you on the show today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
We did. And as I said,
Amazing.
I think we are amazing together. And I think this partnership reflects a lot on our business as well. So,
And we are amazed with three of us today.
Thank you so much. Let's continue to thrive. Let's continue to add value to everybody whom you support. So, ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing couple. We just interacted with entrepreneurs who spent 30 years of their lives, not just in a personal capacity as real life couple, but also building a remarkable business that continues to support so many companies and thousands of people across the globe. Stay tuned for more such episodes. Make sure you continue to subscribe to us. Make sure you continue to follow us so that you don't miss out any such important conversations in future. Until then, this is me signing off. Thank you so much.